It's Wednesday, December 10th.
Vote against his own words. How can Canadians ever believe his words?
A Conservative pipeline motion defeated in the House of Commons, with the Liberals calling it, quote, immature.
They have a very outlined, rigorous, transparent process, and they'll use the same process consistently time after time.
The provincial government calling for better communication between the global transportation hub and the city of Regina on proposed developments.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to.
And local reaction to possible U.S. tariffs on fertilizer exported from Canada. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. To your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lippi. Thanks for starting your day with us.
Chilly day, and they were skating on the streets out in Weyburn and Estevan yesterday.
Were they?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we could do that today. We've got a lot of ice going on outside.
And it's getting colder, so we can.
It is getting colder.
My goodness. Well, welcome to our very chilly studio.
Yes.
Enjoy that.
Thank you.
We'll be back with you in just a moment. Let's get to your headlines. A Conservative pipeline motion has been defeated in the House of Commons, with the Liberals calling it a political stunt.
It's a no vote against the Conservatives playing games and creating optics and wasting parliamentary time when they should be voting on things that are way more important.
This was the Conservatives' last opportunity of the year to force a vote on an issue they deem pressing. The motion supported the construction of new pipelines, but the Liberals said they couldn't support it because, in their view, it cherry-picked pieces of the Prime Minister's Memorandum of Understanding with Alberta. The Conservatives even amended the wording, but any mention of Alberta agreeing to industrial carbon pricing or reducing methane emissions was left out. The Bloc Québécois, NDP, and Greens also voted against the motion. Canada's farmers reacted to Donald Trump's recent threats of very severe tariffs on fertilizer. More than half of our potash exports go to the U.S. market, with Saskatchewan the world's leading producer. Here's Alison Bamford on the negative impacts.
A key ingredient in American-grown food, potash, now threatened by U.S. tariffs.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to.
President Donald Trump's latest warning to Canada's fertilizer industry, saying it would bolster his country's own production that lags far behind Canada's.
You need to take the president very seriously, but maybe don't take him literally on everything that he says.
Potash is one of 3 critical nutrients that crops need. The United States produces about 400,000 tons of potash annually and imports millions of tons more from Canada. The U.S. is our biggest buyer.
I just don't think there's any way you could scale that capacity up tenfold in the matter of a few months, because seeding starts for them in February in the southern U.S.
If Trump follows through with the threat, this agricultural economics professor says Canada's potash industry could be forced to scale back production and lay off workers.
Given that we export about 50% of our potash to the U.S., I think, like most things, it would be very difficult to pivot in a few months.
Experts say implications on Americans could be even worse. Crop production costs and the price of food could both go up.
So it's hard to really see an upside for the U.S. or for Canada, for that matter.
Canadian producers say fertilizer supply can't be replaced quickly, and developing a new potash mine could take 10 to 15 years. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Air Transat still has some catching up to do with its schedule after avoiding a pilot strike.
I've been on the phone, trying to see if they can get me started the next flight as soon as possible, but I've been on the phone for a couple of hours yesterday.
The airline says its priority is to fully restore operations after more than a dozen flights were canceled in anticipation of a possible strike. A tentative agreement was reached just hours before this morning's strike deadline. It comes after a year of talks with the union pushing for similar gains made by Air Canada and WestJet pilots. In recent years, in terms of the tentative agreement, have not been released, and it still needs to be ratified by a vote, which is expected in the coming days. Canada's ambassador to the U.S., Kirsten Hillman, is stepping down.
I spoke to the Prime Minister about this, and I said it's time, I think, for me to start a new chapter. He had asked me back in the spring to stay on for the transition of his government, the new government, and the transition to the new Trump administration. I agreed to do that, and I'm honored to have done that.
Hillman will step down from her role in Washington, D.C. early next year. She started the job in March of 2020 and was the first woman to serve in the position. Hillman also helped renegotiate the Canada-United States-Mexico trade agreement as deputy ambassador. Her resignation comes ahead of a review of that agreement set to begin next year. She says it's important to have someone new in place in time for that process. The man accused of killing a woman riding in a vehicle on a highway near Weyburn made a brief court appearance yesterday. Chris Fallman is accused of second-degree murder in connection to the death of Tanya Myers on Highway 39 just outside of Weyburn in September. Initially charged with manslaughter, Fallman has been denied bail after a hearing last month. Appearing in court yesterday, his matters have been adjourned until December 18th. A Quebec man arrested in Regina last week over an alleged grandparent scam is also facing charges from Saskatoon police. Jeremy Dodge, what are we learning this morning?
Daryl, Saskatoon police say between November 24th and 27th, they received 5 reports of victims being defrauded of more than $45,000 by someone claiming to be a grandson of the victims. The suspect claimed he was involved in a crash, needed money to get out of jail. In each case, victims provided between $5,000 and $26,000 to a different person who went to the grandparents' home. 50-year-old Cyprian Theodore, charged with 5 counts of fraud and breaching court conditions. Theodore, one of 2 people charged last week by Regina police following similar reports of people being scammed in the Queen City and White Butte. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe is touting our province as one of the most affordable places to live. Moe addressing members of the Saskatchewan Realtors Association during their annual State of Real Estate Conference in Saskatoon yesterday. Moe says the province and feds need to work to increase the province's overall housing supply as a small supply of homes on the market continues to challenge the industry. Saskatchewan Realtors Association President Chris Garrett says there are hundreds more realtors than there are homes to buy in Saskatoon.
We in Saskatchewan have the lowest amount of realtors per population of all provinces in the country. So we have a very resilient market of professionals who can service the market. So it just explains how dire that situation is of needing more inventory in the market.
Be able to aspire to At the start of the month, there were less than 600 available properties, but more than 800 realtors working in Saskatoon. Daryl, an update on interest rates this morning.
That's right. The Bank of Canada will announce its last interest rate decision of the year today. It is expected that the central bank will leave interest rates on hold after lowering the benchmark rate to a 3-year low back in October. It currently sits at 2.25%. Investors expect the rate to rise in 2026 after recent data shows the economy added more jobs than expected. The U.S. Federal Reserve is also set to announce a rate decision today, and it's more likely the central bank will lower interest rates south of the border. McCain has recalled one of its tater tot products. The affected product is the Tasty Taters brand Crispy Potato Bites. A recall notice from Health Canada says they've been pulled due to pieces of plastic. The product was sold across the country in 800-gram and 1.8 kilo sizes. Health Canada says it should not be used, sold, or served. The Nova Scotia community of Wallace is trying to come to terms with the loss of a fish plant in a fire.
It was a big factor in the community. We produced a lot of lobster for the surrounding area and stuff, so it's definitely going to feel it, that's for sure.
The Aqua Shell plant burned down on Monday. There were about 50 workers inside at the time. Nobody was injured, but the impact of the loss will be felt across Northumberland Shore. The plant employed about 100 people. They're all out of work right now, right before the holidays. Cumberland County's mayor has asked local businesses to help support the plant and its workers. CFL released its 2026 schedule yesterday, and the defending Grey Cup champions will open on a bye week. They will open the regular season June 13th against the BC Lions at home. They have 2 preseason games, one in Calgary on May 18th. That's the earliest game ever for the Riders, and one at Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon, May 23rd. It's the first time since 1991 the Riders have played a game in Saskatoon. June 13th, they'll hoist the banner against the BC Lions, as we said. Full schedule is on our website. The Riders have re-signed the league's most outstanding offensive lineman, Jamarcus Hardrick, Yoshi, signing for a 3rd season with the club. He had only 17 pressures on 579 pass blocking snaps all season and was the 2025 most outstanding. Yoshi turned 35 this year. The CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan Bundle of Joy campaign is back, collecting for families in need this holiday season. The fundraiser is collecting diapers and baby wipes this year in partnership with Carmichael Outreach, as we always do, which supports individuals facing hardship. Now, organizers say donations have been crucial to help babies and families in need in our community.
Little babies in our lives, and nobody wants to see little babies who are just kind of born into those circumstances have to deal with it. So to see the public response be as positive as it has been with the donation of diapers, it's really nice to be a part of a community and live in a community where people support really good causes for very positive things.
Very proud of this one. And donations can be dropped off at Suds Full Service Car Wash up until December 18th. They've also got a special car wash you can buy that'll give a monetary donation as well. Let's get over to the Weather Center. You're going to need to wash your car after all this mess on our roads.
That's right. It is melting. It's freezing. But as of today and later on in the week as well, we will be seeing that freezing continue on. It's a little bit of a chilly start to our Wednesday here, minus 23 currently in Regina. Now, once that sun does rise, mostly a cloudy day for us here. That will lead into some flurries later on this evening. As for today, though, for the morning and the afternoon, we're just seeing those cool temperatures. Now over to Saskatoon, minus 24. Again, seeing those clouds in the sky once that sun does rise. As of right now, again, we aren't seeing much for wind gusts. However, as the day goes on, and of course into the rest of the week, we will be seeing those same wind speeds that we saw yesterday. Now let's take a look over at our current temperatures throughout the province. Stony Rapids seeing minus 25, along with Buffalo Narrows. La Ronge is at minus 26. Nipawin minus 22. Hudson Bay minus 20 degrees. Spiritwood minus 28. The Battleford's minus 22. Kindersley minus 18, along with Yorkton and Estevan. East End minus 8 and Moose Jaw minus 19. Now for our future cast, you can see a little bit of a system moving through most of the province. Now that is later this evening where we will start to see those flurries coming through the province. You can see them moving through here. It will also be leading into tomorrow in the afternoon, especially when we're seeing a little bit of that system coming through. So it is expecting to be a little bit snowy out. Of course, that is expected this time of the year, but it is important to be mindful of, especially when you're on your way to work or wherever you're off to. Now for wind gusts today, again, those wind gusts are very strong. You can see those moving through the province here. We did see a very windy day yesterday, and again, expecting to see that continue on throughout the week. Let's take a look over at our 7-day forecast here in Regina. Minus 12 today, seeing those flurries start later on this afternoon and into the evening. Now tomorrow, again, still seeing those flurries, minus 8 as that high. Once we start into the weekend, we'll start to see a little bit more of that sun coming out. However, those temperatures are still dropping. We're kicking off the weekend on Saturday with minus 23. Over to Saskatoon now, again, seeing those flurries start today. Minus 11 is that high. Tomorrow, seeing the temperature drop even more at minus 18. Again, still seeing those flurries sticking around, but starting on Friday, minus 27. Very chilly day, but there's a positive, little bit more sunshine coming our way, and we are expecting to see that last throughout the weekend. In case you missed it, a gaggle of golden retrievers came out in Argentina in an attempt to fetch a world record. So this event is called the Golden Wave, aimed to break the record for the largest number of dogs of the same breed gathered in a single location. Officials are working on verifying the results. That being said, 2,397 good boys and girls came out to try.
Do you think, how many Janelles would they get together? How many Janelles do you think they could get in one park?
2,397 at least.
To Janelle's, yes.
Yes,
and would they call them a gaggle of Janelles? I think I just looked it up. The correct term for a group of Goldens is a halo because of the breed's angelic nature. Yes.
I like that.
Because they're little angels.
I have one at home. I don't know that I always describe them that way, but
angelic. Yes, sir.
Does do a wonderful job of cleaning up after the baby, I'll tell you that. Question of the day. We're talking about gifts that you've received.
That's right. So we want to know today, what's the best and worst Christmas gift you have ever received?
Let's go on the positive end, Jeremy. What's the best one you've ever, that you can think of off the top of your head?
Man, I've done really well over the years. My wife got me a Nintendo Wii that first Christmas it was available when it was almost impossible to find. She went through an ordeal to get that. So I still remember that one. I also got a WWF replica championship belt a few years ago that I'd wanted for years since I was a kid. So that's cool.
The world title belt or like the $1 million belt? What the
world title belt?
The eagle, the wing eagle?
It was the big gold that used to be the WCW championship.
Okay. What about you?
You know.
What's out in Esterhazy? You get a couple bowls and.
Yeah, I love a bowl.
Yeah.
I do love a bowl. I got really good Tupperware one year.
Oh.
Really sturdy Tupperware.
See this? 25 going on 48 right there.
And I still use them.
Janelle Lippi. Text us your name and answer, your best or your worst gift. We'll share the stories with everybody in Saskatchewan. Maybe don't include who gave you that bad gift. 10400 is the text line. yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca is the email address. There's the city of Saskatoon. We're back with more right after this. Tupperware.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. For it, we are taking a trip to Edmonton. It is the Oilers and Sabres Buffalo power play here. Josh Doan on the doorstep, goes between the legs, lifts it right over Stuart Skinner's pad for a gorgeous goal. Showing off some real nice hands, scores the second of the game, and that one landing him your must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we've got Game 3 of the rivalry series. Canada faces off against the USA, and the Americans have won the first two games. Coverage begins at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Now, let's head out and check in with Janelle Lippi for a few festive drink ideas for the holiday season.
Good morning. We are down at Willow Park Wines and Spirits this morning, and I've got Jonathan with me. Now, Jonathan, we're going to talk a little bit about some seasonal wines today.
Gotcha. It's Christmas time now, and it's happy season, and everybody wants to celebrate and be with family and friends and get into the swing of things, ending the year right. And so we have 3 wines here, 3 great wines. These are exclusives to Willow Park. 2 of them are. And the first one is a Cabernet Sauvignon from Australia, from the Culinary area, which is their flagship area for their Cabernet Sauvignon. So if you're kind of struggling and you want to diverse your palate a little bit, then come down and try this Cabernet Sauvignon from Australia. And the second one is a Chateau Arnay, which is, then we're going back to the old world. So those who are those New Zealand fans, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc fans, this is a Sauvignon Blanc and a Semillon blend, which is the Semillon gives it a little body and weight, which is a little bit different, but it keeps you in the same boat, right? A little crisp acidity, a lot of melon, a lot of green apple on that if you're a big Granny Smith fan. And the last one is Southern Italian, a second cousin, twice removed of the California Zinfandel. It's called the Primitivo. And the Primitivo is actually from the Hill of the Boot, right, where you have that little stretch of land that looks like the back of the hill. And that's really called a Puglia, and that's where Primitivo shines. So you get that really big fruity character, and you get that big round fruit. You get some earthiness, because again, we're talking about Europe here, so then you get a little bit more astringency and a little bit more, almost hot earth, like the grapes have been in the sun a bit longer, like we wish we were. So.
That's right, especially during this cold season, Jonathan. Thank you so much for walking us through this. Not only wines, but also wine accessories. Everything you'll need, make sure you're coming down to Willow Park Wine and Spirit. Jonathan, we'll be right back. We've got spirits coming up. You won't want to miss it. All right, let's take a look over at our school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, minus 23. You're definitely going to want to grab some mitts and a toque. By the time lunchtime rolls around, minus 18, and final bell around 3 p.m., minus 13. Starting to see those flurries roll in. As for Saskatoon, minus 24 by the time you get onto the bus. Lunchtime, minus 18, starting to see those flurries already, and by final bell, minus 15. That snow is coming down. As we go into break, here's a look at today's gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $129.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $102.9. And in Saskatoon, common cost is $116.9, with the lowest you might find being $109.9. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola is $559.12 per ton, and the futures price is $631.80 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat is $246.47 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.23 cents US. Here's more of today's headlines after the break.
That song means it's time for news. 6:30. Let's get on to your headlines. The provincial government is calling for better communication between the Global Transportation Hub and the City of Regina on proposed developments. This one follows the auditor's review of how Costco received a $6.78 million incentive to build in West Terra instead of at the GTH. The auditor was concerned about how the two levels of government ended up competing against one another. She found that the GTH did not have well-defined collaboration procedures for major developments.
And so that going forward, in the event that, there is these surrounding municipalities that may be impacted by developments at the hub, that they have a very outlined, rigorous, transparent process, and they'll use the same process consistently time after time.
The auditor did find it acceptable for the GTH to attract both warehouse and retail developments. A survey gauging the financial concerns of Canadians says grocery prices remain top of the list. In the Nano survey, 42% of Canadians listed grocery bills as their highest financial stress point. 37% put it second. Personal debt, housing costs, and job security were listed as other top concerns. 8% of respondents said they have no financial worries heading into the new year. Lucky them. The federal government has tabled a new bill on femicide and deep fake images.
I've spent the last 2+ decades advocating.
A survivor of attempted intimate partner femicide says she feels lucky she didn't end up a statistic. She says Liberals' new legislation goes a long way to end gender-based violence. It moves to make femicide classified as first-degree murder and creates a new criminal offense for certain types of coercive and controlling behaviors. The bill, called the Protecting Victims Act, aims to tackle both intimate partner violence and protect kids. If passed, it would also restore about a dozen mandatory minimum penalties of imprisonment that were previously found unconstitutional. The Regina Humane Society is looking for new homes for a group of pups after a litter was dropped off outside. The pups are about 7 weeks old and were dropped off at the donations entrance in a tote, sitting out for about 2 hours in minus 11-degree weather before staff found them. According to the Humane Society, all 11 pups are doing just fine, and they were checked for worms.
Fortunately, the fact there were 11 was probably good, because had there been 1 or 2, they would have felt the effects of that cold much more quickly. It could have gone a different direction. If they had upset that tote somehow and the lid came off, they would have been completely exposed to the elements. We're on a fairly busy street with Parliament Avenue. Had they made their way there or around the corner in our parking lot, we could be having a very different conversation today.
The Humane Society says it not to drop off puppies can be dangerous for animals, as Bill said there. It can also be an issue for space and documentation. The death of a man over the weekend in Prince Albert now being investigated as a homicide. Police say they were called to a home at a theft at a home on the 700 block of 18th Street West on Saturday afternoon about 3:45. When officers made their way there, they found a 41-year-old man dead inside the home. The autopsy was done yesterday and the death ruled a homicide. No arrests have been made. The FBI has released a new photo of a Canadian fugitive and former Olympian Ryan Wedding. The FBI says this photo is believed to be taken in Mexico during the summer. It's not clear who took the photo or how it was obtained by police, but investigators still believe Wedding is still hiding out in Mexico under the protection of the cartel. Now, Wedding is accused of running a transnational drug trafficking operation that routinely shipped cocaine from Colombia through Mexico and Southern California to Canada and other locations in the U.S. as well. He is also accused of directing several murders in Ontario. There is a $15 million reward for information leading to his arrest or conviction. We turn now to an experiment being watched around the world. Kids under the age of 16 being banned from social media. Hannah Bata has the story.
This morning, kids across Australia are locked out of their social media accounts as a first-of-its-kind law takes effect. Children under 16 are now banned from having accounts on major social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
This reform will change lives for Australian kids and allowing them to just have their childhood. For Australian parents, enabling them to have greater peace of mind.
But not all young Australians agree.
We will be completely silenced and cut off from our country and the rest of the world with this ban.
Social media companies are also pushing back, saying the ban is misguided and could make kids less safe. Meta saying we've consistently raised concerns that this poorly developed law could push teens to less regulated platforms or apps. Many of these apps do not offer the same safety features, such as teen accounts, which we have spent years developing. Companies like Meta face hefty fines if they fail to enforce the age restrictions. Australia's government says the ban will protect young people's mental health, citing research linking heavy social media use to bullying and body image issues. Some experts say the law will shield kids from these harms and force platforms to adopt stronger protections. Others insist a blanket ban is not the solution.
You're removing them from the digital information era. You're removing them from the idea of being from political speech. You're removing them from access to information that could be supplemental to what they're learning in education.
Hannah Bata, ABC News, New York.
Saskatoon's Nutana Curling Club is set to host the 2026 Canadian Senior Curling Championships. The best 50 and over men's and women's curling teams, easy for me to say, across Canada, will compete from December 6th to 13th. It's the first time the tournament has been hosted in Saskatchewan since 2008, and the winners will represent Canada at the 2027 World Senior Curling Championships. Saskatoon Blades extended the Moose Jaw Warriors winless streak last night.
For Colt Carter. They were both below the goal line. The Blades up ahead. They got Lewandowski on a break. Comes in, drops it down to Olsen. They score. It turned on a...
The Blades offense exploded for 5 goals in the second period. Zach Olsen, what a night for him. Scored 4 goals in the 9-3 Saskatoon win. The Warriors winless in their last 4. The win moves the Blades into 4th in the WHL East. In Estevan yesterday, the streets were so icy you could do this. It's not the only video we got to our inbox, Janelle, like this of somebody skating. This is Roxanne sending this in of her grandson Cruz taking road hockey to a whole new level. Let's get over to you in the Weather Center.
Yeah.
How long until this goes away?
Well, I'm not so sure it's going to go away anytime soon. We are starting to see a lot of those winter conditions coming around now, and today is a very good example of that. Minus 23 currently here in Regina. We are seeing a cloudier day ahead of us. And over to Saskatoon, minus 24. Again, those clouds lingering around, and that will be leading to some flurries coming tonight and into tomorrow as well for a good portion of Saskatchewan. As for right now, though, these current temperatures throughout the province, Stony Rapids
Rapids -25, along with Buffalo Narrows. South End -25 as well. Nipawin -22. Hudson Bay -20. Spiritwood -28. The Battleford seeing about -22. Kindersley -18. Swift Current -17. Yorkton -19, along with Weyburn and Wynyard -24. Now you can see a little bit of this system rolling through. So as today goes on into the evening, we will see this snow system coming through Saskatchewan. That's this evening around 5 o'clock is when we are expecting to see that start for a good portion of the province. As we roll into tomorrow afternoon as well, another system coming through. So we are expecting to see some snow. Now let's take a look over at our wind gusts for today. Yesterday was a windy one. We're expecting to see that today as well. As you can see here, quite high wind speeds. That is something to be mindful of. It will be making that temperature feel much colder, so make sure you're bundling up. As for our 5-day forecast right here in Regina, -12, and of course those flurries on the way. Those flurries lasting until tomorrow as well, -8. As we enter the weekend, we'll see some of that sun coming out, but again, those temperatures are continuing to drop. On Friday, -23, and on Saturday, -23 as well. Now let's take a look over at Saskatoon. Of course, today again, we saw that system moving through, so those flurries are on the way this evening. -11 as that high for today. As for tomorrow, seeing those flurries sticking around, -18 as that high. And of course, over the weekend, we'll see that sun coming out. However, those temperatures are continuing to drop again. So on Friday, seeing about -27. Then we'll kick off that Saturday with -22. So if you do have weekend plans coming up here, you might want to bundle up, especially if they have to do with anything outside. Renowned neurologist Dr. Michael Hill thought he was giving a talk about his work with endovascular therapy until this.
That was a dramatic part of it, and then I think
Dr. Hill?
Yeah.
Just want to let you know, I'm not actually an interviewer. I had a stroke.
Oh, you did?
Thanks to you and the work of your team, I have my independence back. I was able to walk my daughter down the aisle on her wedding day.
Thank you for giving my children their mother.
The room was filled with people whose lives have been changed thanks to the work of Dr. Hill's team, which provide endovascular therapy could cut deaths from asthmatic stroke in half. Dr. Hill joins us this morning alongside Joe Vipond, who we saw in that video. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Dr. Hill, I imagine it's not every day that you find yourself in a room full of people whose lives were saved thanks to endovascular therapy. Tell me a little bit about that.
Right, you opened by saying exactly what happened, which I was not aware of what was going on. I was told it was going to be a focus group and I would be doing a little bit of teaching. And I came to see, as you saw in the video, patients who had been treated for stroke. So it's always great to hear stories of patients who've done well.
Absolutely it is. And John, you suffered a kind of stroke that happens when an artery flowing into the brain is blocked by a blood clot. What has that recovery been like?
The recovery's been great so far. That's because of a lot of support I've been given. And I honestly believe if it wasn't for Dr. Hill and his team, the research they've done and developed the EVT procedure, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. Chances are I'd be in a nursing home someplace.
What an incredible story.
Long-term care patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
wow.
But you got to keep a positive attitude.
Absolutely you do. That is so important. And Heart and Stroke has been funding research breakthroughs for 75 years. Dr. Hill, how important is it, rather, that we continue to fund research projects that are both big and small?
Well, science is so often serendipitous, and so giving people the chance to develop new ideas and new potential treatments is the way these kind of things develop. So this is a good example of funding which has led to, in this particular case, an amazing revolution in stroke treatment. So it's been terrific to be part of.
Wow. Well, that sounds fantastic. John, how do you feel with this experience, and how has it changed your perspective on life?
I don't know if my perspective has changed anything. I'm a positive person, and I've kept a positive attitude, and I've come to realize there are a lot of good people in this world, a lot of caring people, Like care I had while I was in Lake Ridge Health Hospital in Oshawa, and was fantastic. I owe a lot to them and the staff there. They were great.
Yeah.
Of course, I owe a lot to Michael Hill here.
Yes, of course. Well, Dr. Hill, Joe, thank you so much for this. Remember to donate to Heart and Stroke and to help keep funding life-saving research projects like this. Dr. Hills, please visit heartandstroke.ca today. Thank you both.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your morning is brought to you in part by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Fund more breakthroughs. Beat heart disease and stroke.
Some good news for Christmas travelers. Air Transat has reached a tentative agreement with the Airline Pilots Association, preventing a disruptive strike just one day before it would have started. Flights that were already canceled, though, will not be reinstated. No word yet on details of the contract. SpaceX is moving ahead with plans for an initial public offering that would seek to raise significantly more than $30 billion. People familiar with the matter are saying in a transaction that would make it the biggest listing of all time. The Elon Musk-led company is targeting a valuation of about $1.5 trillion for the entire company, which would leave SpaceX near the market value that Saudi Aramco established during its record 2019 listing. The oil major raised $29 billion at the time. Shareholders have given their blessing to a plan by Teck Resources and Anglo American to join forces and create one of the world's biggest copper mines. Shareholders on both sides of the Atlantic were overwhelmingly in favor of the $70 billion deal. Ottawa is still reviewing the plan and could nix it. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Solastalgia is a term coined to describe the distress people feel when their home environment is damaged. It's been linked to a significant mental health strain. A review published in BMJ Mental Health looked at research from countries including Australia, Germany, Peru, and the United States. It found that people experiencing solastalgia, often due to climate change, mining, or natural disasters, had higher rates of anxiety, depression, and psychological distress. The evidence also suggests that the stronger a person's emotional connection was to where they live, the greater their distress over changes or degradation to the environment. The study authors say more long-term research is needed to fully understand how solastalgia affects mental health in the long term, but they urge communities and health professionals to recognize it as a real, measurable source of psychological stress. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
December 10th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy birthday to Bo. Your family hopes every day brings you comfort, joy, and reminders of just how loved you are. And happy birthday to Barbara. This is coming from your husband and the rest of your family, who hopes you have a fantastic day.
Stones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. Please make sure you send them at least one day in advance.
Welcome to our radio friends of Pure Country 92.7. That tree's got to be in some sort of disarray after being shaken so many times.
You know what? It hasn't timbered over. Actually, it timbered over only once in the contest. So, like, it's still holding up pretty well. But, yeah, we are shaking it up once again here at 740. Yesterday, perfect plays. Nicole won Giant Reed tickets, $100 to Sherwood Co-op, $100 to Northgate Mall. And then Joanne won $100 to Shoppers and $500 to Charm Diamond Center. So it's still loaded up. Thankfully, most of them are like gift cards or concert tickets, so it doesn't weigh down too much on the tree. But get ready to shake that with us coming up at 7:40 and then 4:40 this afternoon. Get ready with the iHeartRadio app and see what's falling out for you today.
We're asking your best and worst Christmas gifts this year. We're just going to ask you the best. Do you have a best that stands out in your mind?
The best, I was, I can't remember how old, still like in high school or something like that, and my parents got me my guitar, and I think that was like my best one of all time. I still love that thing so much.
I'm hoping this year you give me the moon shoes from under your office desk. That'll be my favorite. Thanks very much.
The rubber is all like faded and wrecked. Yeah, but you can still jump on them.
That's right.
Play safe.
John Stamos is joining the cast of The Hunting Wives for Season 2, the Netflix series about a group of wealthy Texas housewives hiding some dangerous secrets debuted earlier this year. Production on Season 2 is already underway. Eric Dane says he's working on a memoir. The actor says Book of Days, a memoir in moments, will detail his time working on Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria. It'll also cover his diagnosis earlier this year with the progressive neurodegenerative disease, ALS.
I don't think you appreciate the gut reaction people have to these things.
Fans of the movie Jaws are going to need a bigger wallet. Several props from the 50-year-old Steven Spielberg blockbuster are going up for sale, including the fishing pole used by Robert Shaw's character, Quint.
Bottom line, everyone's out to beat me.
And happy birthday to Food Network celebrity chef Bobby Flay. He turned 61 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
Some anchovies, yo!
The show is guests go first, so Janelle.
Okay, well, music can be motivational, especially during workouts, and that's why having the right music is important.
Come on. What?
So, obviously not the best music for a run. John asked his followers to send up the worst songs to add to his playlist for his Thanksgiving Day race. And they, of course, did not disappoint. Tracks included Sarah
McLachlan's Arms of an Angel. That's the first one off the top. That's sad. That's so sad.
Everybody Hurts. So there's like a couple little sad songs in here.
And yeah, Jeremy, I guess the point is like, get me through this race as fast as possible because I don't want to listen to these.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could spur you on to go faster to get it over with.
Although he seems like he's power balloting his way through this.
And he's smiling.
Which is what I'm going to do this summer when Creed comes to town.
There's an idea.
Yes. Power ballad.
There's an idea.
Heck out of that. 'Tis the season to decorate, and hopefully you don't have a micromanaging dad in charge.
I'm going to need you to think about this. This is the cafe. It's next to the school and the mayor's house. Do you think that that's correct?
Got to match the vision. You got to. There's feng shui going on.
Some people really have strong feelings about this type of thing.
Time out. We're back right after this with more Your Morning Saskatchewan. Welcome to your Wednesday. It's December 10th.
Well, I just kind of had to find a corner to sleep in. And I'm disappointed that nothing being sorted out for the customers.
Air Transat avoided a pilot strike by reaching a last-minute tentative agreement, but there are customers with canceled flights still waiting for answers.
So we have a very resilient market of professionals who can service the market. So it just explains how dire that situation is of needing more inventory in the market.
Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe is touting the province as one of the most affordable places to live.
So many are committed to the concepts of inclusion, but we have a very large and complex system. And so I believe that together, when we collaborate and we get creative, we can find some solutions for these students.
Inclusion Saskatchewan is raising concerns about students with intensive support needs being excluded from education. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your chilly Wednesday morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thank you for being back with us.
We got some fun answers in our question of the day. We're asking, of course, for your best and or worst Christmas gifts.
Yes, we've got some really good ones, but we always want more, so keep sending those our way.
Your Morning Saskatchewan at CTV.ca is the best way, or on our social media feeds. But there are a few on there that I'm not sure if you know what they are, just based on age. Like, have you ever had a cassette Walkman before?
So I have not had one. I do know what they are. Everyone will be very proud to know. I do know what they are.
Our good friend Luke Samard, who used to be here with us, he probably wouldn't know what that is. Probably say it's not a real thing. That's so Luke. We're going to get to your weather forecast in just a minute with Janelle. We're going to get to your headlines right now, which begin with U.S. President Donald Trump announcing he might put tariffs on Canadian potash.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to. Fertilizer out of.
Trump says imposing tariffs on fertilizer exported from Canada may bolster American farmers to produce more. Now, in a statement to CTV News, the Saskatchewan Mining Association says U.S. farmers depend on Canadian potash and Canadian farmers depend on the U.S. phosphate. It adds the potential tariffs will increase costs for both sides of the border. The government of Saskatchewan says it continues to work with countries internationally in an effort to not rely on the states as a sole trading partner.
When comments like this come, we take a breath, take the president seriously. Don't always take him literally, word for word, with respect to what he says. And let's remember as Canadians what we're actually trying to negotiate here, which is a broader replacement for or update to USMCA, and so that we can continue trading not only with the U.S. and Mexico, but with other countries around the world. The goal here is for free, fair, and open trade. The goal here is not to take the bait, so to speak, on every everything that's mentioned.
Saskatchewan Mining Association says it will continue to engage constructively with policymakers to support predictable trade. Canada's ambassador to the U.S., Kirsten Hillman, is stepping down.
I spoke to the Prime Minister about this, and I said it's time, I think, for me to start a new chapter. He had asked me back in the spring to stay on for the transition of his government, the new government, and the transition to the new Trump administration. I agreed to do that, and I'm honored to have done that.
Hillman will step down from her role in Washington, D.C. early next year. She started in March of 2020 and was the first woman to serve in the position. Multiple sources tell CTV News that Canadian financier Mark Wiseman will be named as the next ambassador. A Conservative pipeline motion has been defeated in the House of Commons, with the Liberals calling it a political stunt.
It's a no vote against the Conservatives playing games and creating optics and wasting parliamentary time when they should be voting on things that are way more important.
This was the Conservatives' last opportunity of the year to force a vote on an issue they deemed pressing. The motion supported the construction of new pipelines, but the Liberals said they couldn't support it because, in their view, it cherry-picked some of the pieces of the Memorandum of Understanding with Alberta. The Conservatives even amended the wording, but any mention of the Alberta Agreement to industrial carbon pricing or reducing methane emissions was left out. The Bloc Québécois, NDP, and Greens also voted against that motion. Air Transat still has some catching up to do after averting a pilot's strike.
I've been on the phone, trying to see if they can get me started the next flight as soon as possible, but I've been on the phone for a couple of hours yesterday.
Now, the airline says its priority is to fully restore operations. More than a dozen flights were canceled in anticipation of a possible strike. A tentative agreement was reached just hours before this morning's strike deadline. It comes after a year of talks, with the union pushing for similar gains made by Air Canada and WestJet pilots in recent years. The terms of the tentative agreement have not been released. It still needs to be ratified by a vote, which will happen in the coming days. Facing a near 16% property tax increase, Regina City councillors will debate and eventually approve its budget starting on Monday. But on Tuesday of this week, there was some added drama. City transit workers say they're ready to strike should council cut service and potentially jobs during those deliberations. Donovan Mace reports.
Regina Transit workers are ready to hit the picket line should council slash its way through the service at next week's budget debate.
We're really shocked and surprised to know that the city is even thinking of doing the cuts.
According to the union, 83% of its workers are in favor of strike action.
Our members, they need more job security, they need safety, they need wages increased too. And it's not only affecting our members now, it will be affecting whole community who's getting benefit from this transit, who rely on transit.
Now, it comes after city administration provided nearly 140 potential service cuts in its forecasted budget, 16 of which are directly tied to Regina's public transit and paratransit, from halting the extension of services council already approved to reductions in overtime, late night, weekend, and holiday routes. Now, according to administration, if council were to approve each cut related to transit, it would save the city more than $12 million, but 49 full-time jobs would be lost. And in response to CTV News, the city says it values its employees and remains committed to achieving an agreement that balances the needs of staff with the interests of residents and of taxpayers. When the budget was released in November, acting city manager Jim Nichols said administration is not suggesting any of the cuts.
We don't do this lightly. We're not taking any joy. We're not making any professional recommendation to do that. We were tasked to say, how would you find $68 million in a budget that is tight and that the public is expecting services?
The union believes Regina should be investing in transit, not chopping it. It's on the council floor.
We want an extension of the services, not the reduction of the services. We need more hours. We need more frequency of the buses. But it's going totally in the wrong way.
City budget deliberations begin Monday and are scheduled for at least 5 days. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
A Quebec man was arrested in Regina last week over an alleged grandparent scam. He's now facing charges in Saskatoon. Jeremy Dodge, what are we learning there?
Daryl, Saskatoon police say between November 24th and 27th, they received 5 reports of victims being defrauded of more than $45,000 by someone claiming to be a grandson of the victims. Suspect claimed he was involved in a crash, needed money to get out of jail. In each case, the victims provided between $5,000 and $26,000 to a different person who went to the grandparents' home. 50-year-old Cyprian Theodore, charged with 5 counts of fraud and breaching court conditions. Theodore, one of 2 people charged last week by Regina police following similar reports, people being scammed in the Queen City and in White Butte. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe is touting the province as one of the most affordable places to live. Moe addressing members of the Saskatchewan Realtors Association during their annual State of the Real Estate Conference in Saskatoon yesterday. Moe says the province and the feds need to work to increase the province's overall housing supply as a small supply of homes on the market continues to challenge the industry. The Saskatchewan Realtors Association President Chris Corrett says there are hundreds more realtors than there are homes to buy in Saskatoon.
We in Saskatchewan have the lowest amount of realtors per population of all provinces in the country. So we have a very resilient market of professionals who can service the market. So it just explains how dire that situation is of needing more inventory in the market.
Be able to aspire. At the start of the month, there were less than 600 available properties, but more than 800 realtors working in Saskatoon. All right, Daryl, the last interest rate decision of the year is expected today.
And they're expecting the central bank will leave interest rates on hold for now after lowering the benchmark to a 3-year low in October. Currently sits at 2.25%. Investors expect the rate to rise in 2026 after recent data showed the economy adding more jobs than expected. U.S. Federal Reserve is also going to make a decision today. The Alberta government has used the notwithstanding clause for the 4th time in under 2 months, this time to pass a controversial bill containing 3 laws affecting transgender citizens. Early this morning, Alberta's governing caucus pushed through the confirms the government's intention to use the notwithstanding clause to shield the 3 laws from legal challenges. The laws will dictate how students use names and pronouns in school, ban transgender girls from participating in amateur sports, and restrict gender-affirming health care for children under the age of 16. Opposition MLAs say this is an overreaction.
Because the entire justification for this action is one anecdote of one high school student in Alberta who didn't qualify in a race allegedly because of a trans athlete. That's it. One anecdote of one story in Alberta when there are an estimated 250,000 girls in Alberta between the ages of 12 and 17. And the UCP is choosing to discriminate against them all based on one anecdotal story of one high school student by forcing them and their parents to prove that they are a girl.
This is a UCP government that's going to have big regrets about the decisions they made this past session.
In late October, the UCP government invoked the notwithstanding clause in order to put striking teachers back to work. A Calgary couple caught this heavyweight tilt at the end of their driveway on film over the weekend. Take a look. Talk about ringside seats. These two bucks locking antlers, duking it out while a third watched on nearby. Sort of thing is common at this time of year as it is mating season. As cool as it is to see, it's also a bit of a hassle for people in the area who say they hesitate to walk their dogs because of potential confrontations. Yeah, no doubt. Luckily, in this case, no one was hurt. I got money on the one on the right. What do you think, Janelle?
I would have to agree. I'm feeling good about it.
Feisty.
Yeah, it's a little bit icy. And it's
Feisty to icy, like our roads.
That's right. Our roads are terribly icy. So keep that in mind on your morning commute here today because it is slick out there. Let's take a look here in Regina at what that temperature is looking like. Minus 22 currently. Again, still expecting to see that cloudier day ahead of us and some flurries into this evening and into tomorrow as well. Now over to Saskatoon, minus 22. Again, that cloud cover is continuing on throughout today and into tomorrow as well. So, of course, that explains some of those flurries that we will be seeing across the province. Now, let's take a look over at some current temperatures. Before we get into that snow, Stony Rapids, minus 25. Buffalo Narrows, minus 24. Prince Albert, minus 27. Hudson Bay, minus 20. Melfort, minus 25. The Battleford's, minus 21. Wynyard, minus 24. Kindersley, minus 18. Swift Current, minus 15. We've got Yorkton at minus 20 and Estevan minus 19 degrees. Now here is that snow moving through. We've been talking about it all morning today. We are going to be seeing that later on into this evening. This is about 6 p.m. getting close to it. And as we roll into tomorrow afternoon as well, we will continue to see another system moving through the province. So we do have a little bit of a snowy next 2 days or so ahead of us. Now, yesterday was windy. Today, that is continuing as well. You can see a lot of these wind speeds climbing as we get into tonight. That is also expected to continue on throughout the week as well. That will contribute to some of these really low temperatures that we're seeing. So now let's take a look over at our 7-day forecast here in Regina, minus 12. Again, those flurries on the way, continuing into tomorrow as well. Now we start the weekend with a very chilly minus 23. However, some good news, that sun is coming out. We're expecting to see it last up into next week as well. Now over to Saskatoon today, minus 11. Again, flurries sticking around. That is into this evening and tomorrow afternoon as well. But like we mentioned before, sunny weekend ahead of us. But again, those temperatures are still dropping. So if you're off, whatever you're up to here this weekend, bundle up if you're heading out. Friday is minus 27. As we start the weekend on Saturday, we're seeing about minus 22. However, we are expecting to see these temperatures lift a little bit higher starting on Monday at 0 degrees. All right, let's take a look over at our rural forecast for today. Meadow Lake seeing about minus 16, Lloydminster minus 15, Spiritwood minus 16 as well, Wynyard minus 13. We are seeing flurries across the province here today. Rosetown minus 9, we've got Lumsden at minus 12, Carlisle minus 15, East End Cypress sitting at about 0. Now let's take a look over at Etonia, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. Minus 3 as that high for today, expecting to see a mostly cloudy day. Those winds picking up a little bit southeast, 10 to 30 kilometers today.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. For it, we are taking a trip to Edmonton. It is the Oilers and Sabres Buffalo power play here. Josh Doan on the doorstep, goes between the legs, lifts it right over Stuart Skinner's pad for a gorgeous goal. Showing off some real nice hands, scores the second of the game, and that one landing him your must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we've got Game 3 of the rivalry series. Canada faces off against the USA, and the Americans have won the first 2 games. Coverage begins at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
this couple you're about to see tied the knot where it all began for them.
We canceled the class, but everybody that was coming to the class came to the wedding.
Why not, right? Ed and Marlene met at a water aerobics class at their local YMCA 3 years ago. Their classmates came out, and the pool's aquatics director even officiated, all while other swimmers stuck to their daily routine. So they're getting married in lane 1, and in lane 2, Joe is cutting laps back and forth. And the kids are going down the water slide over the, oh my goodness.
Sure.
What a way to do it.
What a way to do
That's
it.
great.
T-shirt, vest.
Good for them.
That's great.
Look how happy they are. That's actually really sweet.
It is. It is. It is. Not my choice, but it's great for them. What is our question of the day today? We're talking about gifts.
That's right. Well, our question today is what the best and worst Christmas gift is that you have ever received. So we did get some really nice answers coming in. Lots of best gifts, which we love to see. So let's take a look over here.
That means they're choosing positivity, Janelle. That's good.
You love to see it, though, don't you?
Also, probably a lot of people worried about being outed for the worst gift because somebody's going to know that was, that was.
Yeah, it's better to move with a little bit of caution, which is what we can see here. We've got Michelle, who has a really beautiful answer. She says, best Christmas gift was my mother's ring. She cried. She was so touched, which is beautiful. I'm very, very happy for you here, Michelle. And then we've got Gary here, who apparently really resonated with my Tupperware answer, which I also love to see. Gary, I hope there are plenty of sturdy Tupperwares in your future.
You got to get it before it's gone because the business is in trouble because the stuff lasts too long, right?
That's right.
That's a real story.
Yes. Absolutely, you're right. So even though it wasn't Tupperware, Gary says he got himself a very nice 4K TV.
Sturdy Tupperware.
Gary, I'm really glad that I've inspired you here to do that. Let's see if we can bear with me for one moment.
Our board has decided to fight us, so we'll share some more answers coming up in the next hour. Right now, you can scan that QR code that's on your screen. You can text us at 10400. We'll share more answers as we go. Your morning mystery's coming up. Janelle's really good at those.
Let's head out on the go once more to Willow Park Wines and Spirits. See what Janelle Lepie is finding now.
Good morning. I'm coming back to you once again from Willow Park Wines and Spirits, and I've got Jonathan with me now. Jonathan, we talked everything wines last hit. Now let's get a little bit more into spirits.
So this time of year, we're kind of in a rush. We're kind of all wrapped into our own minds all the way to the 25th. So when it's the holidays and you have to settle down with your family and friends, you kind of don't have time to make all these beautiful cocktails that you've always wanted to do. So thankfully, the industry released a few pre-made ones and ready-to-drink, RTDs, we like to call them. And so the first one is a Bullet old-fashioned bourbon. Of course, we're doing a bourbon-based there. You got some orange characteristic in there and some bitters. And that's all it is, really. It's a cocktail that dates back to the 18th century, really. And so it's one of the first. And the other one is the classic espresso martini. It's been trendy this last little while. This last year has been very trendy for the espresso martini on the comeback. So now we have a pre-made version, and that you can just put it straight into your martini glass, maybe add a little bit of ice just to chill that baby up, and serve it to your family.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. All right, well, coming up, not only do you guys have drinks for your customers, but you're also holding a Customer Appreciation Day. We're going to get more into that coming up and how you can be a part of it.
Through the magic of television, there's Janelle. Time for our morning mystery. It is a song because producer Nathan says, of course it is. 3 clues. Guess along with us at home. Clue number 1. Garth Brooks covered this song in 1999 on his album Garth Brooks and the Magic of Christmas. Why did you throw your hands up in the air so fast? You know who Garth Brooks is?
I know who Garth Brooks is.
Okay, there you go. So that's part of it. You know the year 1999. It was a thing.
Okay, sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
The original recording of the song is featured in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Okay. Okay.
Your bottom lip is now quivering.
Narrow it down a little bit.
In 1994, Staples began using the song for the chain's annual back-to-school advertising campaign.
Oh, I know this.
Yeah, it's all coming to me.
It's all coming to you. You're waiting for someone to just say it in your ear.
It's all coming to me. Don't even worry.
Again, we're writing too much, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a long one again.
Well.
Oh, man.
Okay, can I just say it instead of write it?
It's okay.
Hey, I wrote it all. You have to as well.
Okay. I scribbled wonderful, though. It's a mishmash of things. Most wonderful time of the year.
Mine got slowly more messier as it goes along.
Can we make these one-word answers from now on? It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Why are we giving Janelle this answers beforehand?
I knew it. I swear. Came right from...
She's bribing. She's got some evidence on directed Corey. That's our morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's take a look over at our school day forecast, which is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. By the time you get onto the bus here in Regina, -22. By about noon today, -18. And by final bell, -13. Starting to see those flurries begin. Make sure you're grabbing a jacket and a good pair of mitts. Over to Saskatoon, -22 by the time you get onto the bus, -18 by the time lunchtime rolls around. Again, those flurries are on the way, and final bell, -15. Seeing that snow come down. As we go into the break, here's a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $1.29.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $1.02.9. And in Saskatoon, common cost is $1.16.9, with the lowest you might find being $1.099. Now taking a look over at farm markets, the street price of canola is $5.59.12 per ton, and the futures price is $6.31.80 per ton. Amber Durham wheat is $2.82.27 per ton, and red spring wheat is $2.46.47 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.23 cents US.
To your morning, Saskatchewan at 7:30. I'm Daryl. These are your headlines. Inclusion Saskatchewan is raising concern about students with intensive support needs being excluded from education. After getting data from 18 school divisions, Inclusion Saskatchewan found about 1 in 9 students who have intensive support needs were excluded from school on a part or full-time basis last academic year due to funding decisions. Lack of staffing, behavioral support gaps, and barriers in accessible transportation. It says some cases, students were sent home because support workers were just not available, while other students were given altered schedules where they attend school as little as 30 minutes a day.
So many are committed to the concepts of inclusion, but we have a very large and complex system. And so I believe that together, when we collaborate and we get creative, we can find some solutions for these students.
The Saskatchewan School Board Association says it's working with school divisions to create a more inclusive environment, but the report highlights that there is still work that needs to be done. The province says it recognizes concerns about the experiences of students and is committed to working with school divisions to provide every opportunity for students to succeed. The provincial auditor is calling for better collaboration between the Global Transportation Hub and the City of Regina on major developments at the Global Transportation Hub. It follows a review by the auditor into how the city and GTH competed against each other for the new Costco location. Wayne Mantica reports.
Work is progressing on a new Costco warehouse in Regina's West Terra neighborhood after the city paid a $6.78 million incentive to attract the project. Costco had proposed to build nearby at the Global Transportation Hub, where land was cheaper. The city made up the difference through an incentive. That prompted a review by the provincial auditor, who concluded that there should have been better communication between the GTH and the city.
Who are the various parties that they should be collaborating with when they're making decisions to potentially, I guess, sell land, and there's going to be development at the hub.
The auditor concluded that better communication could possibly have led the GTH to saying no to Costco.
It's important, and that's why we're recommending that they do formalize what those procedures look like, because otherwise there is the potential that additional costs may have been avoided if some of this collaboration and those procedures had been better defined.
The auditor did not review the city's actions because that would be outside the mandate of her office. The NDP blamed the provincial government for its part in what happened.
Stay in your lane, provincial government. There's one taxpayer, and that's the people of Saskatchewan.
The Global Transportation Hub says Costco made the initial approach for land and was offered property at the going rate.
We accept the auditor's recommendation on this. Obviously, when this came out in May of last year, I was actually appreciative of that this audit happened.
The provincial auditor found it acceptable for the GTH to try attract both retail and warehouse developments, but in consultation with any affected municipalities. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
The Regina Humane Society looking for new homes for a group of pups after a litter was dropped off outside. They're about 7 weeks old and were dropped in the donations entrance in a tote, sitting there for about 2 hours. It was about -11 yesterday before staff found them, brought them inside. According to the Humane Society, all of them are doing just fine and have been checked for worms.
Fortunately, you know, the fact there were 11 was probably good, because had there been 1 or 2, they would have felt the effects of that cold much more quickly. It could have gone a different direction. If they had upset that tote somehow and the lid came off, they would have been completely exposed to the elements. We're on a fairly busy street with Parliament Avenue. Had they made their way there or around the corner in our parking lot, we could be having a very different conversation today.
Humane Society says that not only can dropping puppies off be dangerous for the animals, it can also create an issue for space and documentation. Newly released police body cam video is showing officers' first interaction with Luigi Mangione at a McDonald's restaurant in Pennsylvania last December.
What's your name? Mark. What is it? Mark. Mark? Yes, sir. Mark what? Rosario. Rosario? Someone called. They thought you were suspicious. Oh, okay. Is your ID on you? Yes, sir. Thanks.
Mangione has been charged with murder in the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan. In the video, Mangione tells officers his name is Mark Rosario and later admitted to using a fake ID and name. Police had been tipped off by a restaurant employee saying customers believe they recognized him from the news. His statements to police and to the contents of his backpack could be key evidence in the trial. However, the lawyers argue they should be inadmissible because he was illegally searched and not given notice of his legal rights. Mangione has pleaded not guilty. Developing news this morning from Morocco, where at least 19 people have been killed in a building collapse. The collapse happened in Fez, Morocco's third biggest city. Look at your screen. Now, officials say 2 4-story buildings housing 8 families fell. 16 people were hurt in addition to 19 people who died. This was the second building collapse in Fez this year. 10 people died when a building was supposed to be evacuated fell in May. Australia has become the first country in the world to ban social media for kids.
I think if you can get a job at 14, if you can take care of someone's kid, like do babysitting and stuff, I think you should be able to have social media.
Well, see how you feel about this at home. The ban keeps children 16 and under from accessing social media. That includes Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, and other platforms. And here's how it works. Now, platforms are being required to identify and deactivate teen accounts and make sure they can't set up a new one. Australia's Prime Minister says this will not be a smooth transition. Santa Claus upgraded his traditional sleigh to a different mode of transportation to deliver joy to remote First Nations. Here's Alex Carpa.
Santa didn't need his sleigh to spread holiday cheer. Instead, he used a plane to travel to several Manitoba First Nations communities. I was able to hitch a ride on the Manitoba Kiwetinowi Okamakinak Santa Express, making stops in 4 remote and northern communities, which saw kids of all ages excited to see Santa in the flesh.
It's something different. It brings joy and brings laughter. It brings togetherness.
Merry Christmas!
The Santa Express is visiting 25 communities in 5 days, delivering 12,000 treat bags filled with candy and toys.
Having Santa to just come into the community for kids to see Santa, where in the South you can just see him every day, but over here just once in a while. So this is just extra special.
It's not just kids Santa went to see, but as well seniors at this care home in Bunnabonaby Cree Nation.
Merry Christmas!
This initiative started back in 2009 and is a partnership with Manitoba-based Perimeter Aviation. But this year's excursion is a little different than others. Santa's visits to communities here in northern Manitoba were especially meaningful this year as thousands were forced out of their homes due to raging wildfires. Hundreds of fires this past summer in northern Manitoba forced over 30,000 people to evacuate, leaving many out of their homes for months on end.
Children are away from home, being absent from school, and I think this will do them good.
Seti says there's a ton of planning that goes into this yearly mission, but says it's all worth it, making sure every child can experience the Christmas magic no matter where they live. Alex Carpa, CTV News in northern Manitoba.
Well, there we go. He gets to you, right? But you gotta make sure you're on that nice list this year, and you're only going to be on it, if you deliver a white Christmas but decent temperatures.
Well,
Tough act to.
It's a little tough.
That's why Kayleen took the day off.
Well, it's a little bit tough. Today is going to be cold. Tomorrow is going to be cold. The weekend actually expecting to be cold as well, but the sun will be coming out on Friday, and that's good news. We'll take it. Let's take a look over in Regina here at that current temperature, minus 22. Again, expecting to see that cloudier day today, and then flurries into this evening. Over to Saskatoon, minus 22 as well. Cloudy out. Seeing those wind speeds not super strong quite yet, about 9 kilometers in Saskatoon. But again, those flurries are on their way tonight and also tomorrow afternoon. So expect to see a little bit of snow coming our way and white Christmas. Now let's take a look over at those current temperatures here. Stony Rapids, minus 25. Buffalo Narrows, minus 24. South End, minus 26. Hudson Bay, minus 20. Spiritwood, minus 27. The Battleford's, minus 21. Kindersley seeing about minus 18. Swift Current, minus 15. Wynyard, minus 24. We've got Yorkton at about minus 22. Estevan, minus 19. Now we can see some of those snow systems rolling through the province. This is at about 6 p.m. tonight is when we're really expecting to see some of that snow coming our way. Now into tomorrow as well, seeing that system move through. This is about 3 to 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. So expect to see some snow on the way. Make sure you're taking your time out on those roads because it will be a little bit blustery and a little bit slick. Now for today's wind gusts, again, we had that windy day yesterday and that is leading into today as well. You can see these wind speeds climbing as today goes on. Later on into the afternoon especially is when we'll start to see those 30 to 40 kilometer per hour winds. Now for our 5-day forecast, right here in Regina, minus 12 today as that high, seeing that snow coming later on into the afternoon and the evening. Now starting tomorrow, minus 8. Still not bad temperatures, but as we roll into the weekend is when we really start to see those temperatures drop. On Friday, we're kicking things off with minus 23, and again on Saturday, sticking around that minus 23 area. Now over to Saskatoon, minus 11 today. Again, flurries on the way. We are expecting to see that snow coming tonight. Now into tomorrow, again around that 3 to 4 o'clock, minus 18. Seeing that snow coming in. Again over the weekend, a chillier weekend ahead of us. Friday rather, we're seeing that about minus 27 degree high. On Saturday, minus 22. So that sun is coming out, but those temperatures are continuing to drop. So make sure you're bundled up if you're heading out.
Here's what's happening in our community. A tea and bake sale Wednesday, December 10th at 12:30 p.m. at the Radville Marion Healthcare Auxiliary, 306-869-7688. And get your two-step on with the Club 66 social dance December 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Regina 55 Plus Community Center. That's 2134 Winnipeg Street. Call 306-529-6381 for more. Nearly New Year's celebration happens Saturday, December 27th at 5 p.m. at the Sacred Heart Parish Center in Ituna. Call 306-531-7181. If you'd like your event shown here, please email us at reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca at least 2 weeks in advance. Welcome back to Colin O'Brien Man's Shop. It is time to talk about those accessories for your brother, your husband, your dad, whatever it is for Christmas. But we also want to make sure that you stay warm. Aaron is with Colin O'Brien. We're talking gloves and scarves first.
Yeah, so as the temperatures are going to start to cool down, we've been really lucky at this point, but we're not going to be. So we've definitely dived into a new dress glove company this year. A lot of brands have logoed gloves. I find that it's always an afterthought and the quality doesn't generally match the brand. We've partnered up with a brand called Hestra. Hestra makes nothing but gloves, the best gloves. They're priced the best, the quality is the best, and they're just a little bit more unique. So I put a brown leather calf and a multimedia, which we would call it, which is a woven wool and a leather palm, just to give you something that might be a little bit different. One's more dressy, one's a little more day-to-day, but again, something that's nice. You can wear it with your dressier clothes, you can wear it with your parka. And then underneath of that, we've done 3 different patterns in Eton cashmere scarves, which are almost so soft that they melt in your hands. Great Christmas gift, great purchase for yourself.
The nice, easy one is socks, near and dear to my heart, of course.
Always. A good friend of mine years ago coined it as the sock movement. So I've shown 2 different options in socks. The reason that the sneakers are behind them is the 3 in this option is something new. The no-show sock has been coined as the older guy's sock option now. So we've transitioned into the just below the knee cushion sole designed to be worn in a sneaker shoe like this. And then the other patterns in the socks are more of your traditional dress that you'd wear with something like what you or I are wearing today.
Or if you're me, you grab them at 4 in the morning in the middle of the night. And there's a whole selection here, Colin O'Brien, if you don't like what you see on your screen. Wallets, easy gift for Dad.
Wallets, easy gift. Everybody wants to try and find something that's an accessible gift, something small. No guy generally buys his own wallet. It's something that's always generally given to us. We've partnered with a really cool new brand this year. It's been in Canada a couple years. It's called Want. Very cool pebbled leathers. We've done one in a gray, a brown, the card holder, and we're also featuring this computer bag, which is, again, really a nice bag, pretty clean. It's a 10-year plan.
Nice, easy accessory. Talk to me about your wrist.
So, again, on the wrist, bracelets are big. Most guys are wearing stacked bracelets, whatnot. We found a brand based out of Amsterdam called Pig and Hen. They initially did nautical ropes, but in the previous years, they've ventured out from the nautical rope into some of the steel rope mixes, and then things that are a little bit dainty, highlighting the fact that gold's kind of coming into fashion. But as you're talking about bracelets, we move up, and we showcase a brand called Shinola. Shinola came from Detroit when the auto industry collapsed. They purchased a factory, they re-employed the employees, and they turned them into watchmakers. So it's a very cool brand based out of Detroit. It's not super popular. It's extremely good quality, and it's hip.
Great story. Nice to give that sort of thing a highlight, and also, of course, the gift card. If you can't find something, you don't feel comfortable picking out something, but Aaron's always here to help you. Where do we find you?
1825 Hamilton or ColinO'Brien.com.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which will be to all people.
60 years ago this week, A Charlie Brown Christmas made its television debut in Canada on CTV. It was the first ever Peanuts animated special. Half the population in North America tuned in to watch.
Oh, everything I touch gets ruined.
The classic was then broadcast every year before becoming available on VHS, then DVD, then download. You can also stream it now on Apple TV.
It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love. Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice treat.
December 10th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy birthday to Bo. Your family hopes every day brings you comfort, joy, and reminders of how loved you are. And happy birthday to Barbara. This is coming from your husband and the rest of your family, who hopes you have a fantastic day.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
Some good news for Christmas travelers. Air Transat has reached a tentative agreement with the Airline Pilots Association, preventing a disruptive strike just one day before it would have started. Flights that were already canceled, though, will not be reinstated. No word yet on details of the contract. SpaceX is moving ahead with plans for an initial public offering that would seek to raise significantly more than $30 billion. People familiar with the matter are saying in a transaction that would make it the biggest listing of all time. The Elon Musk-led company is targeting a valuation of about $1.5 trillion for the entire company, which would leave SpaceX near the market value that Saudi Aramco established during its record 2019 listing. The oil major raised $29 billion at the time. Shareholders have given their blessing to a plan by Teck Resources and Anglo American to join forces and create one of the world's biggest copper mines. Shareholders on both sides of the Atlantic were overwhelmingly in favor of the $70 billion deal. Ottawa is still reviewing the plan and could nix it. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
So we got your best Christmas gift. We're also looking for the worst. Not a lot of people are weighing in on that one. Do you want to take the risk?
Yes, I was actually thinking of this since the last hour when we spoke. So worst Christmas gift I ever got, it was Christmas when I was in grade 12, and I remember there was a box under the Christmas tree like that big, and I was so sure that it was a subwoofer for my car. Like, I ramped it up. It had to be that. I was so excited. Opened it up, tore it up, and it was pots and pans, because I'd be moving out after that year, and my parents thought, oh, you'll need this. Nowadays, it would have been great, but back then when you were 17 and thought it was a subwoofer and it was pots and pans, that was awful. It kind of bodes well for our topic today, though. We're asking you the last time you had that adult moment where you're like, oh, great, I'm a grown-up. You can text in 54321.
My worst, my sister once got me a canvas, like a canvas hang-on-the-wall print of a really poor picture of me on the Vegas Strip. I never understood why. She just sort of...
I need to see that now.
No, I burned it. I burned it really fast.
That's fair.
Just like the cash that she burned on it. Thanks very much, Chase. We'll do this again soon.
And thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Taylor Swift keeps making music history. Her album, The Life of a Showgirl, is #1 on the 2025 year-end Billboard 200 albums chart. It's the record 5th time Swift has topped the year-end tally. She also did it last year with the Tortured Poets Department.
They were the standard for who we grew up to be.
Courtney B. Vance has met the standard for the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The award-winning actor is set to be honored with a star for his television work on Tuesday, December 16th. One of the guest speakers will be another Walk of Famer, Vance's wife, Angela Bassett. Christina Aguilera marks 25 years since her first Christmas album with a Yuletide trip to the City of Lights. Christina Aguilera Christmas in Paris features holiday classics and some of her biggest hits. The musical celebration plays in theaters December 14th and 21st only. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Figure out whatever Christina Aguilera is into, because she's reverse aging. Like, it's not fair.
Yeah.
No, it's just not fair. If you know a Grinch this holiday season, here's an idea to get them in the Christmas spirit.
I hired a group of carolers to follow my mom around all day.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Tidings to you.
Do you think the notables would do this? We could hire them to follow Kayleen everywhere she goes?
Absolutely. What a good idea.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, producer Nathan spent a lot of time with them. He might have them show up at some point. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
That'd be pricey.
That'd be a little bit, yeah. But, man, they're committed.
Yeah.
You got to like that. Yeah,
Worth
like
every
that.
dollar.
Let's show some people skating on the ice, which was on the streets in Estevan yesterday. Take a look at this video. My goodness. How about Cruz just right on down the street?
He goes fast.
Well, guy can move.
I hope that melts and everybody was safe on the streets.
That's a lot of ice.
Collisions waiting to happen. We're back after this.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wednesday. It's December 10th.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to.
Local reaction to possible tariffs on fertilizer exported from Canada.
They have a very outlined, rigorous, transparent process, and they'll use the same process consistently time after time.
The provincial auditor calling for better communication between the global transportation hub and the city of Regina on proposed developments.
We thought we had the team to do it last year. We brought everyone back, and that's the goal this season. It's pretty much championship or bust, I think.
Players on the Saskatchewan Rush said the memory of losing to the Buffalo Bandits in the NLL Championship last year serving as fuel for the fire. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lippai. Thanks for being back with us.
I remember being in an airport behind the Colorado Mammoth lacrosse team one time, and my wife didn't recognize the logo, or they're built different, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, who are these guys? They said, oh, it's the Colorado Mammoth. That's not a real team. They play lacrosse. That's not a professional sport. Like,
an honest mistake.
And they're like, I'm like, no, it is. These guys are pros. Love. It was long before the Saskatchewan Rush moved to town, and we got to experience that joy. We'll get to your weather forecast in just a minute. They're skating on the streets in Estevan and Weyburn, so we'll get an update on that. First, let's get to your news update. The Conservative motion on pipelines has been defeated in the House of Commons, with the Liberals calling it a political stunt.
It's a no vote against the Conservatives playing games and creating optics and wasting parliamentary time when they should be voting on things that are way more important.
Well, the motion supported the construction of new pipelines, but the Liberals said they couldn't support it. It removed some language from the Memorandum of Understanding. The Bloc Québécois, NDP, and Greens also voted against that motion. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced he may put tariffs on Canadian potash. Sierra D'Souza Butts on the potential impact here at home.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to.
U.S. President Donald Trump suggesting the country could impose tariffs on fertilizer exports from Canada in an effort to support American producers. Thus, despite a significant gap in potash production between the U.S. and Canada, according to Stuart Smythe, who specializes in agriculture and resource economics.
The U.S. produces about 400,000 tons of potash per year, compared to Canada around 13 million tons, and we export half of that to the U.S.
He adds the move would be felt by farmers and consumers on both sides of the border.
If it was really there and it was that economical to be in production, they would be producing it and drawing on their own domestic supplies rather than going through the higher cost of importing it from Saskatchewan.
When comments like this come, we take a breath, take the president seriously, don't always take him literally. Word for word with respect to what he says.
The Saskatchewan government says it continues to work with countries internationally, aiming to not rely on the states as its sole trading partner.
Let's remember as Canadians what we're actually trying to negotiate here, which is a broader replacement for or update to USMCA.
In a statement to CTV News, the Saskatchewan Mining Association says U.S. farmers depend on Canadian potash and Canadian farmers depend on U.S. phosphate. Potentially imposing tariffs will increase costs for farmers, strain supply chains, and ultimately raise food prices for consumers.
Given that we export about 50% of our potash to the U.S., I think, like most things, it would be very difficult to pivot in a few months.
The Saskatchewan Mining Association says it will continue to engage constructively with policymakers to support predictable trade. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Inclusion Saskatchewan raising concern about students with disabilities being excluded from education. The organization says new information gathered from school divisions shows just how often these are happening. Stacey Hine reports.
Inclusion Saskatchewan says students with intellectual disabilities are still being left out of the classroom, and that the lack of data has made the issue hard to track. So it began collecting information on how often students are excluded from class.
The numbers were shocking, but they also did prove what we were noticing from people that call us for advocacy support.
After obtaining information from 18 of the province's 27 school divisions, Inclusion Saskatchewan found about 1 in 9 students with intensive support needs were excluded from school on a part or full-time basis last school year. It says some students were sent home when support workers were unavailable, while others were put on altered schedules, attending school for as little as 30 minutes a day. It says the main drivers were funding decisions, staffing shortages, behavioral support gaps, and barriers in accessible transportation. The Saskatchewan Teachers Federation says the findings reflect what it has been hearing from its members.
Primarily around the lack of resources that are available in school to meet the needs of all students, especially those students who have significant challenges.
The Saskatchewan School Boards Association says the report confirms some of what divisions already suspected.
We do know that we are working very hard as school divisions to provide a more inclusive environment for all of our students, and that there's still work to do.
In a statement to CTV News, the Ministry of Education says, quote, ensuring that every student has access to education is a priority of our government. It says it recognizes concerns about students' experiences and is committed to working with school divisions to provide every opportunity for students to succeed.
So many are committed to the concepts of inclusion, but we have a very large and complex system. And so I believe that together, when we collaborate and we get creative, we can find some solutions for these students.
Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Premier Scott Moe is in Saskatoon touting the housing market. Jeremy Dodge, what does he say?
Daryl, Scott Moe says the housing market in Saskatchewan continues to be one of the most affordable in the country, but concern is settling in over some long-standing challenges in the market. Keenan Sorokon has the details.
The Saskatchewan Realtors Association is worried the province's low housing inventory isn't the concern it used to be, with everyone becoming used to these market conditions.
After a period of 5 years, people sort of assume that that's how the market in Saskatchewan is, but it's not. That's not a normal market.
During the annual State of Real Estate Conference Tuesday, realtors got the opportunity to network, sharpen their skills, and hear from industry leaders. And they also got to hear from policymakers. Premier Scott Moe addressed the crowd about the large increase to housing starts year over year, but he doesn't want the real estate industry to rely solely on government policy.
Government certainly shouldn't get in the way, hindering investment.
There are more realtors working in Saskatoon than properties available to purchase. At the beginning of the month, there were less than 600 properties on the market, with more than 800 realtors working in the city.
We in Saskatchewan have the lowest amount of realtors per population of all provinces in the country. So we have a very resilient market of professionals who can service the market. So it just explains how dire that situation is of needing more inventory in the market.
Garrett says that's helping fuel frustration from both home buyers and realtors competing for limited listings.
You can have the most affordable market in the country, but if it's not easy to get into and it requires a lot of patience, then that is a very frustrating place.
With housing starts and permits moving quickly, Garrett says more patience is needed until those homes can be built. But she's encouraged to see how municipal governments and the provincial government can further align to increase housing inventory across the continuum. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Daryl, the Saskatchewan Rush, ready to roll.
So close last year. Hallie Mandrick has more on this year's team.
Last season, the Rush just missed tasting victory, losing in Game 3 of the NLL Finals. Now they're back, starting off with a win against Calgary and hoping to carry the momentum back to the National Lacrosse League Cup with the hopes of winning it this time.
We have that attitude of rock, chisel, hammer on our team. Just keep grinding and good things happen.
The Game 3 loss in the championship series has perhaps left a chip on their shoulder. Returning players from the Rush last season say that memory will serve as fuel this year.
We thought we had the team to do it last year. We brought everyone back, and that's the goal this season. It's pretty much championship or bust, I think.
Much of the roster from last season is still intact. One key piece of the puzzle is Zach Mans, who says that consistency on the roster will be useful heading into this season.
We feel good. We have that playoff experience. We returned pretty much everyone on the entire team. So we have some building blocks to build upon now, and we're excited to play this season.
It's a sentiment that Coach Keenan agrees with.
They really like the hard work part of it. That's one thing. I also think they're a real tight-knit group, and they all get along really well and respect one another. We have really good leadership, and that starts with being a good teammate.
The Rush are on the road this weekend, heading to Ottawa to face off against the Black Bears on Friday, and their next home game will take place on December 20th. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
If you don't have any lucky numbers, now is time to think up some, because the Lotto Max jackpot is $80 million with no big winner from last night's draw. Anyone who may not be able to make that money stretch, there's always the Powerball. That jackpot in the U.S., $930 million, or that's 1.2 billion Canadian. The odds of winning Powerball, though, is 1 in 292 million. Oof, my goodness. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. To take a warm vacation, maybe.
You would not see me.
Well, I don't know if we can see right now either. It's looking a little bit cloudy, a little bit smoky outside. And it's cold. It's very cold. It's going to be cold, especially throughout this weekend. But let's take a look right now at that current temperature. -23. You can see that wind blowing. It's starting to pick up just a little bit, but it's going to get much stronger here as the day goes on. As for Saskatoon, -21. Again, once that sun does rise, we'll be seeing quite a bit of cloud cover in the sky. That wind speed is picking up significantly in Saskatoon. It's at about 17 kilometers per hour at the moment. Now let's take a look over at those current temperatures. You can see those chilly temperatures throughout Saskatchewan. Stony Rapids -25, Buffalo Narrows -24, South End -26 along with Prince Albert, Hudson Bay -20, Spiritwood -24, the Battlefords -20, Wynyard -26. We've got Kindersley at -18, Yorkton -23, East End -7, and Weyburn -20. Now let's take a look over at these snow systems that we can see moving through the province. So this is about 6:30 this evening is when we'll really start to see those flurries pick up. We're expecting to see that dissipate as the evening goes on. However, tomorrow into especially into the evening is again where you'll see those flurries begin to come back. So there are quite a few snow systems moving through the province. That is something to expect for the coming days. Now for wind gusts, we've talked about it all morning. Again, we're starting to see that wind speed pick up, especially at about 3 to 4 p.m. today is when we'll reach that 30 to 40 kilometers per hour speed. So things are going to pick up, and that will of course cool down that temperature. Now for our 5-day forecast, today in Regina, that high is about -12 degrees. Seeing those flurries begin, especially into this evening. Into tomorrow as well, we'll start to see that snow coming back, -8 as the high. Now Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is when we'll start to see more sunshine coming out, but those temperatures dropping, especially on that Friday and Saturday, with -23 as our high. Over to Saskatoon, -11 as the high for today. Again, seeing those flurries, those will last through tomorrow as well, with -18 as that high. Again, sun coming out, still seeing cold temperatures, especially on the Friday, -27 degrees to really start off our weekend here. So whatever plans you have, if you're outside, make sure you're bundling up because it's definitely going to be cold.
December 10th, 1948, the UN General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The first draft was written by Canadian lawyer Peters Humphrey. On this day in 2012, Christine Sinclair was awarded the Lou Marsh Trophy as Canada's Athlete of the Year. And December 10th, 2009, Barbara Ann Scott carried the Olympic torch into the House of Commons.
All right, in case you have any regrets in your life, here is something for you. This time machine is ready to go. There's just one small detail missing.
Somebody that's maybe a little more tech savvy than me can take it to the next level. Maybe actually go through time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Pat Gooley from Alberta. He's built his own time machine. He's a retired carpenter, now builds for his grandkids. But now that his kids are done playing with it, Gooley's putting this time machine on the market. So everything is the screens, the buttons, they all work. He's asking $850, serious bidders only. Who knows? Wow. If you can find that missing piece, you could travel through time.
That's the flux capacitor. That's what makes time travel possible.
Everybody knows that.
If I remember my history.
And where do you get 1.21 gigawatts of electricity? You never know.
You know, we got uranium in the province. We could probably find a way.
True.
I just love that some reporter was scrolling through like Facebook Marketplace, and he was like,
right?
Hey,
there's a story.
And it is. It's a good one. Question of the day: what is the best and or worst Christmas gift you have ever received? What's on the big board?
Well, we got some really good answers coming in. Our first one here is bindings for cross-country skiing, but whoever sent this in, their mother forgot to bring the skis out. So I guess the bindings were never tested.
Oh, no.
But it's the thought that counts.
I guess.
For sure it is. We've also got a Walkman here. So that's another classic, of course.
Cool.
My mom was classic for, we'd open up the Christmas gifts and then she'd go, wait a minute, wait, there's one more. And then she'd bolt around the house trying to find it, like actively searching.
Dear.
It was like hide and seek for herself, because she'd buy the presents well in advance.
Yeah, that is fun.
Looks like our technical glitch bouncing around. You got her?
Got it. Oh, did I ever. We've also got one here, which is a ring. Of course, a very nice ring. Wears it every day. This is from Lois.
Holy smokes.
Worst ring, or worst gift, rather, for Lois is those disgusting white cookies that come in the blue tins. Lois, I can exactly picture in my mind what you're talking about right
now. You almost taste it. Yuck. Time out. We got more Your Morning Saskatchewan coming up in just a minute.
A Calgary mom is hoping people will donate blood and give the gift of life for people like her daughter, who passed away last year. She has started a blood drive to continue her daughter's legacy. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
A lot of her friends say that she was their best friend.
Manal Mullen had a magnetic personality and big laugh, but most people didn't know she lived with a medical condition called thalassemia, which meant she relied on blood donors every 3 to 5 weeks.
Thanks to everybody out there. She went through 300 transfusions in her life, and she lived an amazing life.
Manal graduated high school and was about to start psychology at University of Calgary. Then she had a bone marrow transplant to cure her condition, but died of complications less than a month after turning 18. Now her mom coordinates a blood drive on Manal's birthday. December 30th is also a time of great need.
It's a really difficult time for us, especially between the last week of December and going into the first week of January. We have about 2,400 open appointments that we need to fill.
If you're over the age of 17 and meet the minimum weight requirements, you can donate blood several times a year and plasma every week.
It takes about an hour of your time to save someone's life.
You're actually allowing people like my daughter to live for that extra month.
69 people donated at the first blood drive held in Manal's honor. This time, her mom hopes for 100.
You guys have no idea how much it means to me, to my daughter, to other families.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Now let's head back over to Willow Park Wines and Spirits with Janella Pye.
Well, Jonathan and I are wrapping up our morning together down at Willow Park Wines and Spirits. But before we do that, the holiday season is, of course, right around the corner. How is Willow Park appreciating their customers during this time of the year?
On the 13th, this Saturday, is our honorary yearly wine appreciation. It's always wine appreciation at Willow Park, but it's our customer appreciation day. And so we're going to invite you down. We're going to have some tastings. There'll be lots of new sales, probably a flash sale or two, just to showcase how much we appreciate your customers. And have you guys come down and try some stuff, see some stuff. There's obviously always a good time at Willow Park. You can come to Norman View Liquor Store here, or you can go down to Harbor Landing in the Grasslands area and see our South End store too.
Awesome, Jonathan. Thank you. And now quickly before we wrap things up, tell me a little bit about the classes that you offer.
So we also have a full education classroom as well. We're happy. We're coming off of a sold-out season with our fall season. We're looking to be strong this season, going into our winter season, starting on January the 23rd. And that is our Scotch Master Class, right? Robbie Burns era, right? His birthday is around there too. And then we have a Italian class, which is the 3 big B's, right? We have Barolo and Brunello and Bargari, which is better known as a Super Tuscan. So again, go into that class. If you're not used to Italian wines, try that. And then we have Decadence, which is kind of Valentine's Day class, and we just want to go over the top. We just want to be decadent, right? Absolutely. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
That's right. Couldn't have said it better myself, Jonathan. Thank you so much for this morning. We had a ton of fun out with you, of course. And that is all from us down at Willow Park Wines and Spirits. Make sure you're coming on out, checking out some of these great deals.
'Tis the season to sell. Maybe. Though I'm sure if we ask Ted Cockwell, there is no off-season. He joins us to talk farm realty this morning. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thanks for coming in again. Ted, let's talk about the seller. Maybe somebody is watching. They think they need an exit strategy, or they just, want to move a little bit of their farmland, whatever the case might be. Where do they start?
Just start by calling us. And each seller's different, and they all have different needs. And so we find out about, who they are and how they're set up, and then we move them in the right direction. So that might be, typically phoning the accountant is a good first call. And if they don't have a farm expert accountant, we can put them in touch with them and start looking at that strategic planning as early as possible.
Are there any misconceptions or I guess myths that you can debunk when it comes to selling farmland?
There's one that I can debunk, hopefully. So a lot of people feel that if they own land and they have it rented out and they're in the middle of a lease, that they can't sell till the lease is over. And it's interesting that so many people think that. I would say probably half of our farm listings have leases on them. So it's no problem at all. Under Saskatchewan law, the buyer has to take over that lease. So the tenant is always protected, and it works out well for everybody. So you can be in the middle of a lease and still list your farm for sale.
Okay. Look at it maybe like a condominium selling. You're going to get the estoppel and have a read and make sure that you know what's going on, and you would just assume that lease for the duration of it, and then obviously the new landlord gets to choose what to do at the conclusion of the lease.
Exactly, and they have to take that lease over in its current format. So like you said, they'll be reviewing it and saying, yeah, I like all of this, I understand the terms in here, and I will become the owner of that lease. And we even have farmers that are saying, we really want this land. It's on our doorstep. We want to farm it, but if we have to, be the landlords for 1 year,
So
we'll do that.
And of course, you want to have somebody like yourself who's been on all sides of the farming business. I mean, you've sown, you've reaped, and you've sold the family farm, right?
Yeah, I think it's really important. It's a very specialized industry. It's not like selling a home. You really do need to understand the people in the industry and understand the business itself, I think, to truly excel at this and help the clients in a really powerful way. And so I'm glad of my farming roots, and it helps me out a lot now.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. If you are looking to buy or sell or just simply want some more information, get in touch with Ted and the team, your experts in the field at cockwellgroup.com.
Welcome to your morning. Here's your headlines. The provincial government calling for better communication between the Global Transportation Hub and City of Regina on proposed developments. It follows an auditor's review of how Costco received a $6.7 million incentive to build in West Terra instead of the GTH. The auditor is concerned about how the two levels of government ended up competing against each other.
And so that going forward, in the event that, there is these surrounding municipalities that may be impacted by developments at the hub, that they have a very outlined, rigorous, transparent process, and they'll use the same process consistently time after time.
The auditor did find it acceptable for the GTH to attract both warehouse and retail developments. Concerns are being expressed about Saskatchewan's plan for involuntary addictions treatment. Organizations that currently help people combat addictions question whether forced treatment will work. Wayne Mantika reports.
Service providers on the front line of the addictions problem have been left with questions about the government's plan for involuntary treatment.
There has not been a lot of clarity around what this actually looks like and what the impact will be. We don't have the resources in place for people that want to go to treatment. We don't have the resources in place for what happens when they get out of treatment.
Last week, the province introduced legislation that would force addicts into secure treatment centers.
To support people with severe addictions who no longer are capable of seeking help on their own despite serious health and safety risks.
The NDP say it doesn't help those voluntarily seeking treatment.
This is a bit of a distraction from a government who knows full well that they have month-long wait lists, that they cannot honor people who are seeking detox today.
If passed, the plan would allow family members, police officers, and healthcare workers to identify those who they believe would benefit from involuntary addictions treatment.
It's been critiqued many times by many medical associations as not being effective, as not being ethical.
There are also legal questions.
If this really does genuinely look like treatment with the release plan and a way, the intent is to get people back to their regular lives, that this very well might be legal. If this ends up looking like putting people in prison without a charge, my suspicion is that this is another court case that the government of Saskatchewan will lose.
The provincial government will consider community feedback as it prepares to pass the legislation in the spring. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
A survey gauging the financial concerns of Canadians says grocery prices remain top of the list. In the Nano survey, 42% of Canadians listed grocery bills as their highest financial stress point. 37% put it second behind personal debt, housing costs, and job security, also listed as top concerns. 8% of respondents said they have no financial worries heading into the new year. Lucky them. A new survey shows that Canadian parents are already feeling the holiday shopping stress. In an Interact survey, 3/4 of parents said that creating a magical holiday for their kids is a top priority, but 2/3 say rising costs are making it harder for them to manage their holiday spending. 1 in 5 say they're relying on grandparents to help them provide that holiday cheer. 1/3 of parents say their grandparents spend more on gifts than they do for their kids. Some dramatic video from Florida. Check this out. Dashcam video from Viral Hog showing a small twin-engine plane attempting to crash land before hitting a car. This is on I-95 in Braver County, Florida. Amazingly, authorities say the driver of the vehicle was transported to a hospital nearby with only minor injuries, and the pilot and passenger of the plane escaped without injury. British author Sophie Kinsella, known for popular chick literature novel Shopaholic, has died at 55 after being diagnosed with brain cancer, her family announced today. Kinsella's books sold around 50 million copies and have been translated into over 40 languages. Instagram just launched a new way to personalize your experience using the app. Rebecca Jarvis has this story.
Morning, Instagram launching Your Algorithm, a new feature that lets you curate what you see in the app, starting with Reels.
We use AI to summarize your interests based on your activity. And if we get it wrong, you can remove those interests from your algorithm.
To see yours, locate this icon in the top right corner of Reels. Tap it, and you'll see a personalized dashboard of your top interests based on what you engage with most. From there, you can tell Instagram which topics you want to see more of and which ones you want to see less.
Being able to tell us that directly so that we can take action in real time, I think will improve their Instagram experience.
Algorithms are sort of at the center of these social media platforms. They're maybe the most important part and maybe the least understood part for most consumers. So this is a very big step where one company is kind of opening it up and letting people figure out what it really is and what it means to them.
This comes as Australia's landmark social media ban goes into effect for users under 16 across all major social media platforms, including Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. Meta, complying with the law, took steps in November, alerting affected users to download their data ahead of the ban. The company telling ABC News, "We've consistently raised concerns that this poorly developed law could push teens to less regulated platforms or apps. Blanket bans are not the solution. There's a better way. Legislation that empowers parents to approve app downloads and verify age." Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
Saskatoon Blades extended the Moose Jaw Warriors' winless streak last night.
Looking for Colt Carter. They were both below the goal line. The Blades up ahead. They got Lewandowski on a break. Comes in, drops it down to Olsen. They score. It turned on a
move there. The Blades offense exploded for 5 goals in the second period. Zach Olsen scored 4 goals in the 9-3 Saskatoon wins. The Warriors winless in their last 4. Blades now 4th in the WHL East. A Calgary couple caught this heavyweight tilt at the end of their driveway. Take a look at this. Ringside seats for you. These two bucks locking antlers, duking it out, while a third watched nearby. This sort of thing is common, of course, this time of year because it is mating season. As cool as it is to see, it's a bit of a hassle for people in the area who say they're hesitant to walk their dogs because of possible confrontations. In this case, no one was injured. We turn our attention to the weather center. Janelle Lippi is in there because Keelan Sawatsky doesn't want to deliver bad news about cold weather.
That's right. So I will do it. I do have some bad news. It's going to be cold, especially this weekend. So if you have some big weekend plans and you're heading out, be careful on those roads. Make sure to bundle up because those temperatures are going to drop. But let's take a look over at our current temperature right here in Regina, -23. Again, once that sun is rising, as you can see behind me here a little bit, it is a little bit of a cloudier day. We are expecting to see that continue on through the rest of the week as well. Now over to Saskatoon, -21. Again, seeing those clouds in the sky. That wind gust is also picking up as well. We saw it at about 9 kilometers per hour earlier this morning. We're now sitting at about 17. So bundle up because that's, of course, impacting that temperature as well. Now let's look at current temperatures throughout the province. Stony Rapids seeing about -25. Buffalo Narrows -24 along with Spiritwood. Nipawin -25. We've got Hudson Bay at -20 along with the Battlefords. Kindersley -18. Wynyard -26. So current -15. East End -7. And Estevan -20. Now let's take a look over at our Futurecast where you can see that system of snow moving through the province. Again, that will be starting later on today into the afternoon and early evening. Now again tomorrow as well around 4 p.m. is when you'll really start to see another round of this system coming through. So we are expecting to see some snow in the coming days. Now for wind gusts, as you can see here, it's going to be another windy one. Yesterday was fairly gusty, and today again, it's not going to be slowing down anytime soon. So later on this afternoon is when we see about that 30 to 40 kilometer per hour winds. Again, that will be impacting the temperature. We do have a chillier start to our day here. Now for our 7-day forecast in Regina, -12 as our high. Seeing those flurries coming in later on this afternoon and into the evening as well. Sticking through until Thursday, again, -8 as that high. Starting on Friday is when we start to see that temperature drop. So -23 as that high for both Friday and Saturday. It will be sunny out. Don't let that deceive you. You're going to want to bundle up. Now over to Saskatoon, today -11 is that high. Again, seeing those flurries, those same flurries, that system that's running through Regina, also through Saskatoon and the rest of the province. Starting on Friday, -27, seeing a very cold start to our weekend. However, that sun is out, and once we roll into next week, we will start to see those temperatures get a little bit better, because we'll start off next Monday over in Saskatoon with 0 degrees as that high.
I took a big loss, but walking out of here today, it's a win.
The viral semi-4. This semi-finalist had to create a viral food review from a series of descriptive culinary words, then prepare that dish. Sounds incredibly difficult. That was the end of the line for Boo Channa, who joins us down the line this morning. Boo, thanks so much for doing this, and congratulations on such a successful run.
Thank you so much for having me.
So what did you learn about yourself along the way in this journey?
I learned that I'm so much more capable than I thought I was. I remember even when I was applying, I was like, I didn't expect to go on the show this time. I was just like, I'll go through the process and then it'll teach me for next time. But I was shocked when I was casted.
Boo, walk us through last night's episode. I teed it up off the top. This sounds incredibly difficult.
Oh, man. At this point, I was just like having so many creative blocks, and I was trying my best. I also was having a lot of back pain at this time, and so it was really hard to think clearly. And on top of it, you've got MasterChef, you've got these judges, and you've got these incredible contestants standing beside you. So I was definitely feeling the pressure in this episode, but I don't regret any of it. It was like a full circle moment for me watching that recap of myself.
Yeah, when you watched that episode back last night with your friends and your family, what did you see in it that, like, we watch it differently, right? You're in it, you experienced it. What might you have seen in that you would have done differently, or maybe calibrated a little differently?
I think towards the end, I cooked a lot from my heart, and towards the end, I was having a hard time connecting with myself, and you could see that on my plate. And I didn't understand, and I wasn't processing why I wasn't able to connect with myself, and I think I wasn't being honest with the fact that I had gone through a very serious injury, and I was trying not to make it part of my journey, but it found me, and it was like, girl, that is part of your journey. You can't hide the fact that something like that happened to you. And I think I learned that when you're trying to kind of, put icing on the cake and make it look pretty, if the cake is dry inside, it's still going to not taste good. So I wasn't being true to myself towards the end.
So what have your students said to you over the last number of weeks as this show's been going on? Because I know you're a teacher still in Calgary, yes?
Yes. They have been absolutely loving it. The number one thing that they asked me is, can we watch MasterChef? And I was like, guys, we need to get through this math. So they'll work really, really quickly so that at the last 20 minutes that we'll watch some of an episode.
I love that. Boo, thank you so much for sharing some time with us this morning. You at home can watch the grand finale. It's all happening on Tuesday night right here on CTV Saskatchewan and streaming the next day on Crave.
Thank you so much.
This This is something the public rarely gets to see. Footage of an actual NHL expansion package for prospective bidders, including a letter from the NHL president. You're looking at rare video from 1990. That year, after failing to bring the St. Louis Blues to Saskatoon through relocation, Bill Hunter tried again to lure an expansion team to Saskatoon 7 years later. This time, an arena, today known as SaskTel Center, was already built, with additional seats being added at the time. An NHL bid would require more amenities like skyboxes. Reports at the time said Hunter and his group had raised $50 million towards the NHL expansion fee, but needed another $20 million and turned to the provincial government. But Hunter says the provincial government turned down his request, and the NHL expansion bid crumbled with no formal application being made. The National Hockey League would later award expansion teams to two cities, Ottawa and Tampa Bay. And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
But it keep coming back like a revolving door. Say I don't want you less, but I just want you more. Say I keep coming back.
She said take your time, what's the rush? I said baby I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
Greetings, everyone. The Canadian Western Agribition has always been a place to celebrate the roots and future of agriculture in Canada, including the country's first peoples. At this year's event, 2 days were focused on Indigenous agriculture. Success stories were shared from across the country, illustrating where the sector is heading.
Indigenous producers, entrepreneurs, industry pros, and academic members gathered at the Canadian Western Agribition to discuss Indigenous agriculture opportunities happening across the country. Some of the major ideas behind these initiatives: building food security and food sovereignty during a significant time in Canadian agriculture.
We have the best innovations and the smartest minds right here at home. So there's a lot of talk of agriculture abroad and agriculture around the world, but at the end of the day, we're in the mecca of agriculture in the world right here.
This is the 12th edition of the Indigenous Agriculture Summit at Agribition, held as a 2-day event for the second year in a row. The expanded time frame, leaving room for agenda topics like land and business management, grazing and buffalo repopulation, and more.
For the Canadian Western Agribition, this is a really important, I find this year they've really tried to accelerate what this looks like. And, you know, this year we've implemented as part of the Indigenous Ag Summit to have tours to go down through the show, to go down through the barns, to really start having those conversations on what can it look like on our land.
There are a number of Indigenous ag operations happening across the country, all ranging in size. A significant piece of information being shared is the economic growth opportunities these operations can achieve.
Right now, you know, we're probably sitting at about a 1.5 billion GDP miss by not harnessing Indigenous agriculture as well as it could be across the country. And this 2 days gives us an opportunity to get that platform of industry, academia, to really come together to accelerate and build the ag industry as a whole.
The Indigenous Ag Summit was presented by FCC alongside NCIAF, all with the intention of helping Indigenous communities get into agriculture.
We want to see more, you know, opportunity, more education, more programming, more access to capital for that economic empowerment, and you know, getting our next 7 generations educated to really leave this land as better than how we found it.
All people. If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle is brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
John, stay
Ramos is joining the cast of The Hunting Wives for Season 2. The Netflix series about a group of wealthy Texas housewives hiding some dangerous secrets debuted earlier this year. Production on Season 2 is already underway. Eric Dane says he's working on a memoir. The actor says Book of Days, a memoir in moments, will detail his time working on Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria. It'll also cover his diagnosis earlier this year with the progressive neurodegenerative disease, ALS.
I don't think you appreciate the gut reaction people have to these things.
Fans of the movie Jaws are going to need a bigger wallet. Several props from the 50-year-old Steven Spielberg blockbuster are going up for sale, including the fishing pole used by Robert Shaw's character, Quint.
Bottom line, everyone's out to beat me.
And happy birthday to Food Network celebrity chef Bobby Flay. He turned 61 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
Some anchovies, yo. Why you going with...
A Massachusetts mom bakes sourdough, spreading kindness with her Pay What You Can bread cart. Abby Buttaficoli has the story.
In the quaint community of Acushnet, Massachusetts, on Austin Lane.
I've been making sourdough for a couple of years. I usually do it for my family.
Alicia Beer, mother of 4 and owner of Corner House Bakery, whips up loaves and loaves of sourdough bread.
Even before I was doing this, I would find reasons to bake loaves of bread.
She could always find a reason, but there was a big one, wrapped in a cute, curly, small package that made it her work.
My daughter has cerebral palsy.
Now 2 years old, her happy little girl, Vivian, needs mom home.
She's the best little girl.
But that means mom can need a lot of dough, and she isn't asking for a lot of dough in return.
I can help myself and my family and help other people, then why not?
On Sundays, Alicia puts out her bread in this cart, usually $10 to $15 per loaf, and asks customers who come by to pay what they can.
Especially with what's going on right now, it really helps people to get a nice loaf of bread for almost nothing.
She says so many have been generous.
I know if somebody's giving me $3, that's all they have.
But they get to leave with a loaf of bread, processed, stretched, folded, proofed, and baked by someone adding a little extra love in each batch.
She turned a small hobby and, turned it to fix, a hole in our lives and a hole in her life, and she's made it into something, literally from nothing. I think that's amazing.
I love it.
Beautiful sentiment, hey? Like just
lovely.
Like a community fridge type of thing.
That looked delicious too.
It did look delicious.
It looks really good.
We have rules on this show, but don't talk about food, don't look at food. Broke all of it. Let's get to your sidebar.
Magical festive season is underway at Hampton Court Palace in London, which was once home to King Henry VIII.
Off with their heads.
They're preparing festive food fit for a king. The palace's historic kitchen interpreter puts in the work to teach historic recipes, all in costume for guests. Beef was a staple on the Christmas menu back then, along with a selection of poultry, tongue-in jelly, orange tarts. So there's quite a selection here. There's also spiced wine and beer available. The event is open this weekend.
The spiced wine and beer will make anything tolerable.
Yes, so head on over to London, I guess, and check this out.
There you go.
That sounds like fun.
This display in Croatia, central Croatia, is called the Magic of Lights. Here's why.
It's amazing. This is an awesome little place.
Look at that. Thousands of visitors coming out to see this massive lights display. The millions of lights cover ponds, bridges, trees, and paths in the woods. And as a bonus, every year the family creates something new, so there's always a reason to come back for more.
Wow.
The power bill. I want to know about the power bill.
I would have to assume very
I don't know.
LEDs,
LED
it
lights,
couldn't be too bad, right?
Make it not too bad.
That's a big snowman. Look at that. Look at that. JD, I think we got just about enough time for you.
All right, let's talk about this group of golden retrievers that came out in Buenos Aires over the weekend in an attempt to fetch a world record. Yeah, they called it the Golden Wave. They're trying to hit the largest number of dogs of the same breed record. They're trying to verify it still, but they say they had 2,397 good boys and girls come out to try.
Oh.
Did you know in Oxfordshire, England, they had an event where they gathered as many Jeremys as they could, and they got 25,000?
No way.
No, fake news.
That's what it says here.
That's a lot of Jeremys.
It's on the Oxford Mail.
It is. That's a lot.